If you're dealing with that nagging, persistent shoulder pain that just will not go away, you have landed in the exact right spot. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what's causing all that frustration and, most importantly, map out a clear path to get you feeling better. I mean, this is the big question, right? It's the one that probably keeps you up at night and makes something as simple as putting on a shirt feel like a huge challenge. We're talking about more than just a little bit of soreness. It's this deep, stubborn stiffness that seems to have a mind of its own. And man, this kind of stiffness, it just gets into everything, doesn't it? Getting dressed in the morning, trying to grab a coffee mug off the top shelf, or just trying to find a comfortable position to sleep. That sharp pain that shoots through your arm, or that dull ache that wakes you up, it can honestly turn your whole life upside down. Okay, so to figure out how we fix this, we first have to get a really clear picture of what's actually going on inside your shoulder. So let's dive in and take a look. So the fancy medical term is adhesive capsulitis. Sounds a little intimidating, right? But the idea behind it is actually pretty straightforward. I want you to think of the capsule around your shoulder joint kind of like a loose, flexible t-shirt sleeve. Well, with frozen shoulder, that sleeve gets inflamed, and it starts to get thick and tight, like it's shrinking in the wash. That's what's literally freezing your joint and stopping you from moving. Now, this whole thing usually happens in stages. It's not an overnight thing. First, you've got the freezing phase. This is often where the pain is the worst, and you start noticing you can't move your arm like you used to. Then things move into the frozen stage. Here, the pain might actually ease up a bit, but wow, the stiffness really sets in. And finally, the good part is the thawing phase, where things slowly, gradually start to loosen up again. Now, this is a super common point of confusion. It's so easy to think you've just got a rotator cuff injury, but there are very different things. Remember that tight sleeve we talked about? Frozen shoulder affects that entire capsule, which is why you lose movement in pretty much all directions. A rotator cuff tear, on the other hand, is about specific tendons. So you'll feel that pain or weakness with very specific motions, like trying to lift your arm out to the side. So you might be wondering, okay, when do I stop trying to just tough this out and actually get some professional help? That's a great question. Let's look at the key signs. Here's what you really need to be on the lookout for. The stiffness isn't just there, it's actively getting worse. You're losing more and more movement as the weeks go by. It's making daily stuff really hard, it's messing with your sleep, and you've tried resting it and nothing seems to be getting better. If that sounds familiar, that's your cue. It's time to make a call. And now for the good news. And it is really, really good news. There is a clear, structured path to getting better. This isn't about just gritting your teeth and bearing it. It's about smart, guided rehabilitation. It's about physiotherapy. You know, a solid physio plan isn't some one-size-fits-all thing. It all starts with a really thorough assessment to figure out exactly what phase you're in. From there, it's all about a careful, step-by-step progression. We start with gentle mobility, then we add in some manual therapy and progressive stretching. Strengthening, that comes much later, only when your mobility starts to come back. It's a real process. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The idea of someone purposely moving a shoulder that already hurts so much, I get it, that can sound pretty terrifying. It's a totally valid concern. And here's the reassurance I really want you to hear. The whole process is paced for you. Yeah, you might feel some discomfort, when you're pushing a stretch, but it's always, always controlled. A good therapist is your partner in this. They're constantly communicating with you, adjusting things to keep you in a range that's safe and that you can handle. Now, this next question seems like a no-brainer, right? If it hurts, stop doing it. That's what we're all taught from a young age. But with frozen shoulder, that instinct can actually be your worst enemy. The answer is a huge, definite no. If you stop moving your shoulder completely, you're just going to make it even stiffer. The absolute key here is guided and gentle movement. That's what helps break that cycle of stiffness and kickstart that thawing process. In this case, motion is medicine. At the end of the day, all of this, it's about so much more than just your shoulder. It's about getting your life back. It's about not being held hostage by pain and limitations anymore. I love this quote. It just nails it, doesn't it? Restore movement, regain independence. It's so simple, but so powerful. The focus is first on getting that movement back, because that is the thing that gives you your life back. And that's the promise of sticking with the plan. With consistent, structured therapy, you can get back to reaching for that jar on the top shelf, putting on your coat without that wince of pain, and yes, finally sleeping through the night. It's all about reclaiming those simple, everyday things we take for granted. So, the big takeaway here is that even though a frozen shoulder can be a long, really frustrating journey, it is absolutely not a life sentence. There is a clear, manageable path forward. It all starts with just understanding what's going on and then taking that first small step toward guided movement. The real question isn't if you can get better, but when are you ready to start?